Welcome to the Explainer. We are jumping right into an absolutely fascinating story today. We're going to unpack a narrative that perfectly mashes up ancient, terrifying magic with the completely mundane reality of everyday school life. Seriously, we're stepping into a village where the supernatural isn't just some local myth, it's a hidden, dangerous reality. And the hero tasked with keeping this evil at bay? Well, he's highly unusual to say the least. Just listen to this threat for a second. Hey, you down there, if you move even a bit, I'll turn your soul to ashes here. Now, imagine hearing that in the dead of night. It sounds like it's coming from some massive, battle-hardened warrior, right? Well, here is the twist. The person delivering this chilling line is literally a 10-year-old boy. And the entity he's threatening? It's an 80-year-old ghost who has spent decades terrorizing people and is now completely cowering in fear. Section 1. The 10-year-old Tantrik. Okay, let's dive right into this. Who exactly is this kid? On the surface, Kevin just seems like your completely average 10-year-old. But in reality, when he steps onto the scene, zombies literally run in the opposite direction and ghosts drop to their knees to beg for mercy. So you're probably wondering, why does a child command so much supernatural authority? Well, the lore behind Kevin's power is deeply rooted in ancient tradition. He belongs to the Tantrik sect, which is an incredibly powerful magical lineage. But he isn't just any ordinary student. He is the direct disciple of the great Tantric pundit William. So, to put that into perspective, this explains why an 80-year-old spirit would suddenly feel sheer panic. They aren't just looking at a young boy, they are looking at the concentrated power of a legendary magical lineage standing right in front of them. Section 2. Weapons of the Tantrik. Of course, a lineage alone doesn't win battles, right? You need the right tools for the job. Let's transition over and take a look at the fascinating gear Kevin uses. Notice how Kevin's inventory perfectly combines the mundane with the mystical. In his left hand, he wields a sword made entirely of people wood. In his right, he uses everyday items like rice and ganjajal or holy water. But here's the kicker. These normal items become absolutely lethal to evil forces when infused with ancient power. And for tougher foes, he relies on advanced mystical devices like the Boot Bandi chakra and a celestial weapon known as the Tantrik Vajra. So how exactly does Kevin use this Boot Bandi chakra? Well, when that 80-year-old ghost tries to test his patience, Kevin doesn't even flinch. He just recites the mantra Om Pat Swaha Ban, and instantly a ghost-capturing device formed of pure golden light materializes right on his palm. With just a single strike to the spirit's forehead, the ghost is sucked directly into the device and completely sealed away. Boom, just like that. Section 3. The supernatural threats. But as you'll see, the life of a Tantrik isn't always that easy. The enemies aren't all pushovers. Right after sealing that cowardly ghost, the environment shifts drastically. The temperature drops. We go from an 80-year-old spirit complaining about being scared by a kid to the sudden arrival of the Pishak, a terrifying vampire warrior. Bursting out of the fog at lightning speed, this thing goes straight for Kevin's throat, openly mocking him as just a crazy child. So, how does a 10-year-old survive an enemy that vastly outclasses him? Well, it requires a very desperate 3-step tactical retreat. Step 1. Kevin actually cuts his own finger to apply blood to the people sword, making it glow with power. Step 2, he summons the Tantrik Vajra, using the mantra Alyum Vidyutaya Namah to cast a massive net of blue lightning. But the arrogant vampire just stands there, totally unaffected. No way, right? So that leaves step 3, a sudden, frantic pivot to psychological warfare. He resorts to a hilarious but surprisingly effective bluff. Kevin acts absolutely furious, pointing at his own forehead and yelling, "Are you blind? Can't you see my aura?" He confidently claims to be the reincarnation of a massive, powerful sage who will totally destroy the vampire for daring to challenge him. And the sheer audacity of this 10-year-old actually works. The vampire freezes in terror, mistakes Kevin for a great master, and flees into the night, leaving behind a hollow threat of "not next time." And Kevin? He literally just yawns.
Section 4, a normal, chaotic morning. Let's move to the next part and see how this builds, because we get a huge shift in tone here. You have to appreciate the brilliant irony of Kevin's double life here. At night, he's this master Tantrik, staring down ancient vampires without even blinking. But in the morning, he is hiding like a frightened rabbit behind his grandpa. And why? Because he's running late for school again, and his mother is sprinting after him with a thick stick.
And Grandpa steps in as the ultimate shield. What is he doing? Put that stick down. This is not how you teach children. Kevin is just perpetually late, apologizing profusely to his angry mom. It is such a relatable, hilarious family dynamic, which is especially funny since his mom is completely unaware her son was out fighting demonic entities just a few hours prior. But while Kevin runs off to school, a much deeper mystery starts to unfold through Grandpa's perspective. He reveals in an internal monologue that there's been a really alarming rise in supernatural activity in their village. Dangerous things are suddenly appearing that just shouldn't be there. And even worse, Grandpa admits his own magic is failing. This really raises the stakes in the background and makes us wonder what is coming next. Section 5, Science versus Superstition. This brings us directly to Kevin's walk to school with his friends Golu and Pintu, where two completely different worlds collide. So his friends decide to play a quick prank and sneak up behind him, grabbing his shoulders to startle him. But Kevin has a massive, intense reaction to this. He spins around and scolds them, warning that startling someone from behind can actually be deadly. According to Kevin's mystical training, the human body has 3 vital protection spots: the left shoulder, the right shoulder, and the head. Tampering with these spots or suddenly frightening a person can literally leave them vulnerable to spiritual attacks. His friends, of course, just roll their eyes at him. They remind Kevin that their school teachers explicitly tell them not to believe in superstitions and instead to trust science. They just think Kevin is a bit obsessed with ghost stories and tell him to stop acting weird. This perfectly highlights the central theme of the story: the clash between the modern, scientific education of his friends and the hidden, highly dangerous reality that Kevin actually faces. Kevin realizes it's pretty much useless to argue using logic, so he drops this chilling quote on them instead. "There is a lot in the world that you haven't seen. As long as you don't bother them, they won't bother you. But some zombies run and bite as soon as they see a human." The delivery is so deadpan and serious that his friends instantly gulp in fear, suddenly feeling a cold, unnatural draft on their backs. Looking at his now terrified friends, Kevin decides to issue a cliffhanger challenge. "If you have the courage, come with me to the old broken temple in our village. Today, I'll show you the real thing." And that right there leaves us completely hooked. It forces us to ask, what exactly is hiding in that old broken temple? And how long can Kevin realistically keep his two worlds from completely tearing each other apart? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep your curiosity sharp.